This conversation is generated under the StoreMore project. This project is supported by the Interreg Danube Region Programme, co-funded by the European Union. The content of this conversation does not necessarily represent the official position of the European Union.
Hello and welcome back to The Deep Dive. Today we're taking on a huge topic, battery energy storage.
Yeah, BES. It's basically the backbone of the modern grid, and we've gone through a ton of material to unpack it.
From the basic chemistry all the way to the pretty significant ethical challenges facing the whole industry.
Exactly. So let's start small. At its heart, a battery is just an electrochemical device. You've got three parts.
A positive electrode, a negative one, and an electrolyte in between.
Right. And when it discharges, you get a controlled flow of electrons occurrent. It's fundamentally a redox reaction. Okay,
so with that basic chemistry in mind, it seems like there's this wide spectrum of technologies out there. We've sort of got the old guard, the reliable veterans.
And then you have the high-performance champions that are driving everything forward.
So who's the veteran in this story?
Oh, that's definitely the lead-acid battery. They're reliable, they're cheap, good for things like starting your car or for a UPS, an uninterruptible power supply.
But they just don't cut it on a grid scale.
Not at all. The energy density is only moderate, and the cycle life is, well, it's very short, maybe 200 to 300 cycles. Plus, you have the whole environmental issue with lead itself.
Which brings us to the champions. The lithium-ion family.
Yeah, they completely dominate your phone, EVs, everything, and it's because of that extremely high energy density. We're talking up to 190 watt-hours per kilogram.
But it's not just one single thing, right? Lithium-ion is more like a category.
Exactly. And this is where you get into the really critical trade-offs. You have LCO, lithium cobalt oxide. That one gives you the absolute highest energy density.
But it's not very stable thermally.
Not at all. So then you have LFP, lithium iron phosphate, which is way safer and lasts a lot longer, but its density is just medium.
So what's the sweet spot that everyone, especially EV makers and grid operators, are using now?
That's usually NMC, or nickel manganese cobalt. It's the workhorse because it kind of balances everything, high density, reasonable cost, and a pretty good service life.
But that's the interesting question, isn't it? If LFP is so much safer and lasts longer, why are we still so focused on this more volatile NMC chemistry?
It's all about that trade-off with volume and weight, getting more power into a smaller space.
Okay, so let's shift gears. Why is all this sophisticated battery tech so absolutely crucial for our power grid right now?
It's really about physics and speed. I mean, think about a huge solar farm when a cloud passes over.
The generation just dips instantly.
Instantly. And BES can react in milliseconds to either inject or absorb power. That's what stabilizes the grid's frequency and voltage. It's the only thing that can really handle the intermittency of renewables.
And there's a massive economic incentive, too.
Oh, a huge one. We talk about peak shaving and arbitrage. You're basically storing energy at night when it's cheap.
And then selling it back to the grid during those few hours of peak demand when prices are sky high.
Precisely. You're displacing the need for those really expensive and dirty peaker plants.
So connecting that economic drive back to the manufacturing floor, that's where the biggest hurdles are.
It is. I mean, all this great tech requires critical materials, lithium, nickel, and especially cobalt.
Right, and the cobalt sourcing is a major geopolitical and ethical problem.
It's heavily concentrated in the Democratic Republic of Congo, and that raises, very serious questions about the entire supply chain.
And that's just the materials. Safety is another big one. Lithium-ion batteries are prone to thermal runaway.
Which means you need these very complex, very expensive cooling and monitoring systems that adds a ton to the operational expenditure, the OPEX of a project.
So what about the end of life? The sustainability piece.
It's a huge gap. Right now, recycling is inefficient, it's energy intensive, and you just don't recover enough of the valuable materials.
And that's where regulations are starting to step in.
Yeah, you see the EU's new battery regulation mandating specific targets for recycled content and ethical sourcing. They're trying to force that circular economy into existence.
So wrapping this all up, despite the issues, Li-ion is mature. It's efficient 85 to 95% round-trip efficiency. It scores a will it change everything, or WICE, baseline of 60.
And a 60 out of 100 is a really solid score. It tells you the technology is genuinely transformative, but it also tells you there's a long way to go.
It means we can't just put all our eggs in one basket.
No, the future has to be a diversified storage portfolio. We have to overcome Li-ion's limits The material scarcity, the cost, the safety issues.
Which is where new chemistries come in.
Exactly. Things like sodium-ion using much more abundant materials and solid-state batteries, which could be a game changer for safety.
That's the long view. But for our final thought today, considering that immediate ethical dependence on DRC cobalt, what specific steps could major manufacturers take right now to start aligning with these incoming ethical sourcing mandates? That's something for you to think about.